Well, ladies and gentlemen, the first ever college football 2024 AP poll has been released. Of course, in today's video, we are going to, one, break that down. We're, two, also going to talk Auburn basketball because they have announced some new non-conference opponents that we are going to go over in this video. We're also going to talk Michigan and Connor Stalions thing, give an update on that whole situation at Michigan. And then we'll talk a little bit of Florida football schedule, break down what their record is regarding that top 25 AP poll that just released today, as well as go over the media weeks, what's to come here on the Sports Lovers for the next couple of weeks leading up to football season. But first, of course, if you guys aren't in the channel, obviously be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn that bell on, helps out what we're doing here at the channel. Leave a comment down below, of course, all of that good stuff. Again, Road to Glory, Dynasty, that is all going to be coming next week, but I feel like, or this week, but I feel like we haven't had a video where we just sit and talk about what's happening in sports. So that's what we're going to do today. On Friday, we talk Madden ratings. Now we pivot to college sports and talk what's going on in that, since we are officially 19 days away until college football returns. The countdown is on, fellas. We are almost there. You know it's getting close when the AP poll drops, but that is what we're discussing here in today's video. Let's go ahead and hop in to some college news regarding sports. Alright, so the first thing that we are going to be breaking down is Auburn's newest basketball opponent added to the non-conference slate. Of course, the newest opponent that Auburn has added is the Ohio State Buckeyes. They are not ranked, of course, but it is still a really tough Big Ten basketball team to play. This puts one of the toughest non-conference slates that Bruce Pearl and this Auburn basketball team has had in recent memory. Number one, you got Houston, who is ranked number 4 in the preseason poll right now. You got the Maui Invitational, which includes UConn at number 3 in the preseason poll, Iowa State at number 7, North Carolina at number 10, and a couple other ones as well. Auburn's opponent has not been set yet, but they will be facing one of these top 10 teams in the AP poll. Up next, then you have Purdue, who is ranked number 16 in the preseason AP poll. We are hosting them in Birmingham, so another neutral site game. And then finally, of course, Ohio State in Atlanta the week of Thanksgiving. That is going to be a fun one at State Farm Arena. That's Auburn's preseason opponent, non-conference opponent so far. It's really tough. Houston, not too sure. Houston, UConn, Iowa State, North Carolina, and Duke, they are all going to be really, really solid and tough opponents. But Purdue, on the other hand, they're going to be a little bit iffy just because, again, with the losses of Zach Edey and they're got 3 guys that can shoot threes have all gone and graduated, I think. Purdue is going to be a little bit iffy, and then Ohio State is kind of what they're going to look like early on in the season. But regardless, these are all very tough opponents for this Auburn Tigers men's basketball squad. So, if you guys thought that Auburn was scheduling soft opponents, then obviously you guys are all wrong, and we are back for Auburn basketball. So those are the new preseason opponents that Auburn has slated for their non-conference. Let's talk about the next topic. Alright, everyone, here is our next topic, of course, which is the Connor Stalions and the whole Michigan cheating scandal. Now, really quickly, all of this news just came out yesterday or today. This past weekend, most definitely. So, it is all relatively new. But, again, this is regarding their current coach, Sherrone Moore. And it says that Sherrone Moore is the latest Michigan football staffer to be drawn into the program's sign-stealing scandal. Of course, with the Connor Stalions whole situation. And he might be the next coach to face discipline from the NCAA for his role. Moore could face a suspension and show cause penalty for allegedly deleting 52 text messages with former Wolverines analyst Connor Stalions, a level 2 violation of the NCAA. On the same day in October, media reports indicated Stalions was the man behind an illegal off-field sign-stealing operation. Moore is one of the 7 staffers from Michigan's 2023 national championship team, accused of violating NCAA's rules, according to a draft of the NCAA's notice of allegations. ESPN obtained the draft, which, of course, is subject to change. And here is the official quote. It says, "Our athletic department and university continue to cooperate with the NCAA regarding our ongoing investigation." Michigan spokesman Dave Above, I'm going to butcher that name, told the Free Press on Sunday when reached for comment, "We do not have an update to share regarding its status at this time." That is the official quote. The article also goes on to say, "The university received the long-awaited NOA draft last week. A source with intimate knowledge of the situation said Sunday the university will continue to let the NCAA's investigation play out before taking action." The source was granted anonymity because the investigation is still ongoing. Last year, Moore was the offensive coordinator for Michigan, served as gameplay head coach for 4 games when Jim Harbaugh was, of course, suspended, and who, of course, is now the coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. Moore's deleted texts were later recovered through a device imaging and the subsequent produced them to enforcement staff, according to the NOA draft ESPN received. Moore is also seen as a potential repeat offender by the NCAA. He was suspended for last year's regular season opener by the school for his role in contacting recruits during a COVID-19 recruiting dead period. Harbaugh also received a 3-game suspension, and that NOA became public last week. So, again, there's a lot to break down with this whole story, but I do want to get the main point out of the way. Connor Stalions and Sharon Moore last year were going back and forth at it, talking about what signs they were basically planning, what whole things. I'm not going to go into every single text message that was deleted, but they did talk about, of course, the sign stealing stuff as well. Again, keep in mind there is a documentary coming on this on August 27th to Netflix, so that is going to be something to watch there if you guys are interested in this situation ongoing. For me, again, if Michigan does want to avoid a suspension, it looks like that they're going to have to take, one, either a self-imposed postseason ban from the NCAA itself. They're going to have to self-impose that ban. Number 2, they're going to have to suspend their coach for a certain amount of games if they are going to want to avoid official suspension from the NCAA. So, with that being said, there are some games that this coach can miss, but when the most important games are, 1, Oklahoma on that schedule, Penn State on that schedule, Ohio State, and of course you play Central Michigan during that stretch. So, there are going to be key games where this coach is going to be missing. But again, how can Michigan keep it together after that is how they're going to be testifying that as well. So, once again, that is an update regarding the Connor Stalions whole situation. I see this as 2 ways. NCAA suspends them, or they take a 3 or 4 game suspension for the season and take a fine is what Michigan is definitely going to have to do. But you guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments down below. Let's react to the newest AP poll in college football. Alright, so our final topic here before I talk about what's to come here in the next couple of weeks. This video is going to be a little bit long, so bear with me here. But the preseason coaches poll top 25 has been released from USA Today. At 25, you have Iowa. 24 is Kansas, which I'll talk about in a second. USC at 23, NC State at 22, Arizona at 21, A&M at 20, Miami at 19. I'll also talk about that one in a second. Oklahoma State at number 18, K-State at 17, Oklahoma at 16. That's a little high as well. Tennessee at 15, Clemson 14, Utah, I believe, at 13, LSU at 12, Missouri at 11, Florida State at 10, Penn State at 9, Michigan at 8, 7 is Notre Dame, 6 is Ole Miss, 5 is Alabama, 4 is Texas, 3 is Oregon, 2 is Ohio State, and number 1, of course, is the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, really quickly here, Michigan. We'll start off in the top 10, and I'll give my thoughts on the top 10. Michigan, the lowest ranking of a national champion in recent memory is what they are all saying about this. At number 8, again, I think they're better than Notre Dame, and I think they're not better than any of the top 6 schools past that. So they could have moved up 1 spot and been fine, but I don't see them being better than any of these colleges within the top 10. Now, Penn State and Florida State in the top 10, a little bit iffy on Florida State, but Penn State, I do agree with them being number 9 as well. As we look to the 11 through 20 spots, Texas A&M being ranked at number 20 is outrageous to me. You also have Miami at 19. I think they should have been a little bit lower, maybe taking Kansas State's spot at 24 and dropping them out of the rankings, which, again, I don't think Kansas should have been ranked either. And then Iowa at 25 is kind of iffy on my part just because they don't play a lot of defense. Their offense is really bad, but their defense is one of the best of them. USC at 23, they are going to have kind of a down year, but hey, it is what it is. That is my reaction to the AP poll. I think Tennessee is a great fit at 15. Oklahoma ranked a little bit high for them joining the SEC. The two newcomers at 4 and 16 in the SEC. And then Clemson at 14 is also iffy, but it is going to be set up a great matchup for Week 1, Georgia versus Clemson and Atlanta. So that's going to be fun. That is my reaction to the AP poll. Let's talk about the Sports Lovers Media Week. So the next 30 weeks are going to be already scheduled. What's to come here? Starting off with next week, the week of August 12th through 16th. On Monday, I'm going to be releasing that Cole McConaughey interview that I recorded. I need to get that approved by Miami's University Athletics page, so stay tuned for that one. On Tuesday, we're going to have an interview with Colorado commit Trent Hood, the offensive lineman for Miami. On Wednesday, you guys are going to be getting 2 videos of next week. That is the interview with ULM commit Chandler Wilson and, of course, NFL preseason Week 1 predictions, just to kind of get us in the rhythm there of prediction week as well. Thursday, you guys are going to be getting another interview with ULM commit Markel Kier. Friday, you guys are going to be getting an interview with Auburn 2025 commit Kinsley Faustin. We're going to talk what he's expecting out of this year and how he can help Auburn, stuff like that. And then, of course, Sunday is a big possible, but if I can pull it off, you guys will hopefully, fingers crossed, be getting an interview with the Auburn head coach, Hugh Freeze. If not, we'll have an interview with Noah here as kind of a little replacement, get ready for college football, with Inside the Tide podcast on YouTube, which go subscribe to that, by the way. Shout out them. Now, moving on to the week of August 19th through the 23rd. This is going to be Predictions Week. Predictions Week. We're going to talk Big 12 on Monday. We're going to talk ACC conference predictions, title game, all of that stuff. Wednesday will be 2 videos as well. Big 10 conference predictions and NFL preseason predictions week number 2. Thursday will be SEC conference predictions. That's going to be a whole bunch of fun, and we'll talk about that as well. And then Friday, I will give my Heisman Trophy, college football playoff predictions, national championship predictions, Heisman predictions, and we are also going to have Week 0 game predictions on Friday as well, the day before Week 0 starts. And then, of course, the week of August 23rd through the 30th is when college football is officially back, so we'll talk Monday, we'll talk Big 12 predictions, weekly game predictions. Tuesday, ACC weekly game predictions. NFL preseason Week 3 predictions on Wednesday. Thursday, we'll talk Big 10 weekly game predictions. And then Friday will be SEC game predictions weekly as well. So, lots of predictions coming here within the next 4 weeks out of the year. College football is almost back. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. Once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on. We do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that being said, I'm going to hop off, get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. Thank you all so much for watching. Of course, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.